Welcome back to Cards and Comics, and today I've got a pretty big card mail day. Something I've been saving up for a little bit because, I've been traveling a lot. I've been to Chile, just got back from Buffalo with the family on a big trip, which I've got a little update there on a store I went to that was really cool, and I'll give you an update on that. And we'll go right into it with my big card mail day. Now, I only have one non-sports card, I think. Yep, I think one. There we go. It is from 1996 Marvel Masterpiece. It is Scarlet Witch. Again, I'm slowly building the set over time. It's one of those cards that I like it a lot. Now, the one thing I don't like about this card, now that I look at it, though, when I was, just kind of getting into this set, is that majority of the cards in this set have kind of a classic feel to them. This is the first card when I looked at it was this photo or this drawing looks more like a WWE let's say wrestler than my Oklahoma coming back to bite me there. Wrestler. Looks like a WWE wrestler more than the Scarlet Witch. For one thing, I can't tell from the coloring, but the hair doesn't look very red. I don't know what she's doing with her fist there, but, doesn't look like she's a magic user. It looks like she's, Dazzler there a little bit. It just, I think of all the, compared to other ones like Rogue and Storm and Psylocke, this is the one that, to me, misses the mark the most of any of the ones I've seen so far. So I just feel like, of all art in this set, I think this is the one I like the least so far. And even though Scarlet Witch is a pretty big character, but I need it for the set, and it does bring some good money. Now, for the big card, I'm going to do the big card first. I know a lot of times people do these big cards, kind of last. And sorry if you hear my AC kicking on, but it's getting warmer here. But I'm going to start with this card because this is a card that means a lot to me from a standpoint of, it's a card I've never owned before. And it goes into one of my big collections. And it's going to eventually find its way to PSA at some point. But it is a 1996 Topps Chrome King Griffey Jr. Refractor. Looking at it, top to bottom, it's a little off. Left to right, it's okay. I don't even care if it gets a 7 or an 8. It's just, this is a card that has eluded me for a while. I'll show you the back. It went through the eBay authentication program there. And, it's just a card that's so cool. And the thing that's really interesting about these refractors in 96, I don't know if you can see it. You see those dots that's on them? It's kind of an etching, right? They didn't really do this very, very long. This kind of etched look on the foil. You'll notice in most newer refractors, they don't have much etching, if at all. And this is interesting that they put these dots on the card because they didn't exist on the base Chrome card. So it's just interesting that they did a little bit of a different thing when they went to the refractor. But going back to this card, obviously during 21 and 22, this card spiked tremendously in value. I got kind of disappointed, like I may not ever get this card. And I finally picked it up raw. And I'm really happy that I finally have it. And it's in the collection. And again, it's going to go to PSA. So there you go. A pretty big pickup for me. It's really one of the last major refractors I really need for Griffey from the early period. Now, I'm missing, I'm trying to think, I have 96. I think I might need the 97. I know I have the 98. So, Topps Chrome I'm talking about. Obviously, the big ones I'm missing are those shorter printed, like 97 Finest Gold Embossed Refractor. I've got the 96 gold. I need the 97 gold. No, actually, I have the 97 gold. So, yeah, I need the 97 gold Finest Refractor. I just picked up the 97 Finest Silver Refractor recently, too. So, I've got... I'm slowly making headway on my 90s refractor set with some of the bigger ones. So there you go. So this one I'm really pumped about. Like, this is like literally one of the best cards I've picked up in a long time in terms of just filling holes in my collection, which is important. As a collector, you want to fill those big holes at some point, and that really makes you excited about going out and getting other cards, right? Because you filled a major hole, you got something that really makes you want to go dig even further. Now, next up is a card that to me anyway, that I don't know how much the card should be worth, because it's a card you don't see very often, but this is from 1997 Flair. It is sorry, I'm just looking at it. It is the Tiffany version, right? So you can see the kind of refractory little reflective finish there. It's a different color foil, and then on the back it says right there Tiffany. And so again, this card probably is going to go to PSA. And so yeah, there you go, another parallel. And again, not a parallel you think too much of, but the Tiffany parallels are pretty tough. And to get the Griffey base is pretty awesome. I've never owned this card again. I've never really seen it before until I bought it. I mean, and talking about in person, until I actually owned it. I've seen the 96 Finest Refractor. I've picked it up at shows and had chances to buy it, but it was too expensive or I couldn't afford it. But this is the first time I've ever seen this card live. And that's the great thing about collecting. I started in 86, and I've been collecting Griffey cards since 89. And there's still cards that are big cards I've never, ever touched or held or seen in person. And that's what makes it more fun when you get a card that you've heard about, you've read about, but you've never seen, and that makes it a lot more fun when you get it. Next up is a really fun 96 Fleer insert, zone insert, which these are really cool looking, and a lot of just shininess, and it's an 8, but hey, it's a cool card, and I'll show you the back on this card. Again, just a really shiny, cool insert. And again, I've never owned this card before, so Fleer Zone in my Griffey collection. And last but not least is the Skybox Thunder Turbocharge. These are see-through acetate. This is a gem at 10, so that's why it's a little cooler. But it's from a cool set, Skybox Thunder. Again, a lot of these Skybox EX sets have a lot of acetate cards. And, they're just fun to pick up. They're not tremendously expensive, but they always look nice. Now, going into some other areas of collection, I did pick up one cool Frank Thomas card. This is the rave review. Now, I opened a box of this from Skybox Thunder. And I opened a box. I didn't, or Circa Thunder, whatever this was. But I didn't actually, Circa Thunder. I did not actually get this insert when I opened the box. So I didn't actually pull one of these rave reviews. I'm still need the Griffey. So I got the Thomas, I need the Griffey. So I'm excited about it. The really cool intricate die cuts here. Again, tough to grade. Just a really, really cool card. And I'm really happy to have one now. I've never owned a rave review card from the set. So again, a lot of cards I've never seen or owned before, and which is exciting just as a collector. Now, I announced in my last video that I'm starting a Barry Sanders collection. And that's from a lot of reasons. One is I'm from Oklahoma, and watched him play at Oklahoma State. So that was one thing. My sister went to Oklahoma State, so I have a little connection there. But, he was by far the most entertaining player when I was a kid to watch growing up. His games were must-watch TV. He would always do something crazy and exciting in college or in the pros. So I'll start here with kind of a little bit of a... it's a cool card, but not as expensive. But it's from Skybox Metal. And it is the Marvel Metal Universe card. So this is a card that pairs him with Wolverine. You can see Wolverine in the background there. And I think it's just cool. As a Marvel collector as well, I'm not a huge, fan of kind of these mashups. So this one was done pretty well. Sometimes they did this quite a bit, comic cards and all this stuff back in this time period. And this is probably the best done version of this card, of these cards that are out there. Just really cool. And the fact that it's Barry and Wolverine comboed together just makes it a lot more fun for me anyway. And there you can see the back, more just Wolverine on the back there. All right, next up is a really cool insert set that is maybe look a little boring, but a lot of people, especially in basketball, know this set, and it's Intimidation Nation. This is from Skybox Premium. It's foily, but they're pretty rare inserts, and this is the Sanders. Really cool to start out with, one of the cooler inserts. I have another Barry Sanders really tough insert coming that didn't show up in time for the video. Again, I've been traveling a lot, so it's stuck somewhere at work, most likely. So there you go, Intimidation Nation, Barry Sanders, kicking off some of my my Barry Sanders collecting. And then last but not least is a card I really, really like. This is Bowman's Best Cut. And I want to say this is 1996 or 97. I always get the years mixed up on this set. But it's Bowman's Best Cut, and it's the cool die-cut atomic version of Barry Sanders. So you get not only the what we call an X-Fractor now foil, but it's the atomic back in the day. So you can see it right there. Oh, there we go. Atomic refractor. And again, I believe this is 1996. But the cool thing is a couple videos ago, I picked up the Dan Marino in a PSA 9. Now I've got the Barry Sanders, just kind of like, hey, I got two of the cards, and maybe I should do the set. But again, I picked up this card because it was so cheap. This one because I'm a player collector now of Barry Sanders. But it does make me want to go and get the rest of the set. It also makes me want to get this card graded because I think it's such a cool card. And again, I have so many cards to get graded. I'll never get them all graded because I don't have that much money to grade the probably 2,000 or 3,000 cards in my collection I need to get graded. But I'm slowly knocking off some of those cards as we speak. Next up, just a Josh Allen rookie, not an expensive one. Introductions from Absolute. Not a huge, big rookie of Josh Allen, but I'm in the Josh Allen zone near Buffalo, and so people love Josh Allen. So just getting as many Josh Allen cards as I can, so when I go to shows, I have Josh Allen's to sell. Next up is Donner's Crusade. Now, I bought this card on a buy it now, and maybe I'm crazy, but I just thought it was super cheap. It's a PSA 10 as well, but it's the Green Crusade Brett Favre, and you can see on the back that it is numbered out of 250. And I just think this set is just such a cool set. I love the baseball set. I've been putting together the green baseball set just low key for years. It's probably my number one Griffey go get right now if I was going to rank all my Griffey cards, because it's reasonable. I could get it. Unlike the gold embossed refractor, which I don't think I'll ever get personally. I might one of these days. I might sell a bunch of cards and go get it, but it's just not as realistic. But I could get the Crusade, just the green, not the other colors for Griffey. But I just feel like these are probably, outside of refractors. And I do think these are some of the nicest looking insert sets I've ever made. And I think all Crusades from the 98 sets are just tremendous in terms of eye appeal and collectability. And I feel like they will be an A1 top tier 90s insert set forever. Next up was a Mike Alstott autograph from Autographics Skybox. I got this because just a fan of him as a player, and it was pretty cheap, and I like the look of this set, so it was one of those cards I just kind of picked up just to have fun. And then another football card, as I pull more over here, that I picked up just for fun, and this card wasn't quite as cheap as that card, but I feel like these sepia refractors are just gorgeous when you get them. I mean, I like them. They're very polarized. I know a lot of people don't like the sepias, but I like the sepia. And this is Peyton Manning. They're numbered out of 99. This is from 2012, which again was a great design year for Topps Chrome. And you can see the number to 99 right there. Again, SGC graded, but I think that's great because it probably makes the value more affordable for me to be able to get the SGC version of it versus having to pay for the PSA. So Peyton Manning. And sticking with football, last but not least, it's a Hall of Fame rookie card, and it's a really cool one. It's one I've never owned before, but I've always wanted, and it is the 84 Topps USFL Reggie White and a PSA 9. I had this on Instagram, and a lot of people liked it because this card just is one of those cards that when you see it, you want it. I think Reggie White stuff is undervalued. And if for some reason, defenders become more popular and collectible, he's top of the list of those to go up in value. So, and again, I'll show you the back for people who haven't seen these. Just a super cool card. And they only come in box sets, so you can only get that card in a box set. But yes, very cool card. All right, moving on. Again, it's a big mail day. We'll move on to 90s baseball, and I'll go through these a little faster because these aren't quite as interesting. But we'll start here with Fleer. So this is a fresh ink Cal Ripken Jr. autograph. It's on card, which is very cool. It is from, I think, 2000. Yep, 2000 Fleer. So, there you go. Fresh ink autograph Cal Ripken Jr. Hall of Fame auto. Very cool. I picked this card because I just thought it was fun. I've never owned it before. I've always seen this star, Kevin Costner. But I feel like this card is a cool card that I think people would just like to have a copy because it's such a good movie. But I guarantee that this autographed in a PSA holder would bring a lot of money. So it's just one of those cards that I might get autographed if I ever get a chance one of these days. Golden Anniversary Mike Messina. Again, Hall of Fame auto. This is from the cool 2001 Topps Golden Anniversary set. Which is one of the best autograph sets ever made. There's the back. And Mike Messina. And then last but not least, again, is my pipe dream to ever own the 93 Refractor set. Doug Jones. Pretty good reliever back in the day. Again, the normal 8. Because, again, I picked these up for about 25 to 40 bucks a piece. It's my normal going rate. And there you go. It's Doug Jones. All right. Keeping in baseball. I picked up this card. Kind of FOMO, but I thought it was a really cool card. And I don't know how to say his name. I'll show you. It's like Roki Sasaki. But anyway, there it is. And the reason why I have Roki Sasaki Topps Chrome. Again, so this is the special Japanese edition. This guy threw basically 2 back-to-back perfect games over in the Japanese league. And it's a pretty young pitcher. And I feel like, obviously he's a player. And if you read about him, he's definitely a target to come over to America and pitch. So I just thought it was cool to pick up his card now before, and it is a Topps Chrome card. So it is a cool card. It is, a legit cool looking card. And I just thought it was fun to pick up a card of a guy in a couple years might be in America pitching. You never know. We speculate on a lot of the crazier stuff. So I went ahead and grabbed that. Next up is a card I just picked up because I'm always picking up, heritage inserts because I just love the set. And these cards look so good. So good. Like, could you imagine if 73 Topps was black bordered like the 71 Topps set? How good that design looks in black border. It's incredible. Look at that thing. This is the Topps Black Refractor of Brian De La Cruz rookie card. And again, you can see it's the Black Refractor because it's numbered out of 73. Just one of my favorite insert sets. And again, Griffey has a few black refractors, and I've never had one. I've never even held one or seen one. So next up is 2021 Topps Chrome Ke'Bryan Hayes, Mint 9 Magenta Refractor, numbered out of 399. we need to focus. There you go. $3.99. I'm a Pirates fan still. Unfortunately, they're having kind of a bad to mediocre year. Not as terrible as other teams, but definitely not great. And they're not going to be great because of pitching. But anyway, Brian Hayes has definitely had some good moments and looks good out there. His defense is a little questionable. His hitting's pretty good. So again, we'll see what happens to him. But I picked it up fairly cheap, and I thought it looked nice. So he's had some good moments this year. Got hurt last year, so let's hopefully he can stay healthy and have a full good year. Now, next up is a card I just bought because I thought that they're getting so cheap that I had to pick this up, and I've been wanting this card for a long time. I like this variation the best of all of his rookie cards, and it's the update red and blue shirt Acuna. And if Soto cards get even more low, I'm going to pick up some more of his variations, like the gold maybe. But this is my favorite of the variations for Acuna from Update. I actually pulled the one where he's going to the dugout, kind of the horizontal shot of him, which I think is worth more in this card. But this card I've always just liked because it's just such a different photo of him from the other one of his other playing cards, rookie cards. So it's more striking to me. I like the jersey he's got on. So again, the Acuna red and blue jersey rookie card from Update. And a 9. So still good grade. All right, moving on. We've got some basketball. So here is a card that I got from Flippin' Steve. So Tyrese Maxey, I think it's a cracked ice red. I don't know much about this card because I don't really do a lot of modern basketball. But it was something, we were in I think one of his contests. I was on one of his live feed and I won it. So in return, I'm sending Steve a package as well. So I've got it already picked out, and I'm going to be sending him some cool stuff as well. And I'll probably do some of this card. And if I do sell it, I'll probably donate this to whatever I sell this for or trade it for. I might do some charity donation because I feel like it's good to give back. And I'm going to send Steve some cards, but this is a cool card. And again, if I end up selling it or something, try to do something with it besides just pocket the cash. Other basketball I picked up, Ja Morant, Optic Rookie and a 9. These have gotten so cheap. I just picked one up to have more inventory on Ja Morant, kind of cheap inventory. And I picked this card up. I thought was, the 81 Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, with the HBO show and just the fact it's a 9 and it's a cool photo of him. And again, vintage hockey I talked about a little bit, being kind of undervalued in some videos. And this is I think cards like this eventually, are going to be people who want these kind of cards. And I think a 9's a great grade. And you can see the back. Just really like anything from, that time period, especially because of the importance of those early 80s Laker teams. And you're seeing it now in the movie or the HBO special, how those teams were important to the history of the NBA and those players, because Kareem was, an important player on that team. Moving on to just vintage baseball, 76 Nolan Ryan. This is a card I've got multiple of now. And again, I'm just buying these cards like this because this was really cheap. And when I go to card shows, again, vintage sells really well right now. Same way for this card. This is, again, I already have this card, but it's Gaylord Perry 64 Topps. It's an 8. And again, when I go to card shows, people love 60s Hall of Fame cards that are in that $40 to $60 range. Elson Howard, popular Yankee in this area, being in the New York area. So I went ahead and got this card. It's an 8. He's not really common. His cards do bring good money, and people like Elson Howard for sure. Next up, again, with the hockey, Stan Mikita. This is not a pump and dump, guys. I'm not buying up vintage hockey just to pump and dump it. So see some videos of me talking about hockey. It's not, I'm not pump and dump because if I was going to do that, I'd be buying a hell of a lot more of it. And I've literally gotten like 5 vintage hockey cards this year. But here's a Stan Mikita. And again, when I go back with hockey, this is a 65 Mikita. It's a Topps, not a Peachy. Great design, nice card. And I just like the design of these cards, and I like having Hall of Fame cards of any sport. And that's a cool one. And here is Jacques Plante. Jacques Plante. I don't know. I always say his name poorly, so someone's going to be screaming in the background. 71 top 7. Not an expensive card, but when I was in high school, I did a paper on him just as I was doing like a sports figure, and I picked him out kind of out of a hat. And it's like, oh, well, I want to do this goalie who's pretty famous in hockey in the 60s and 70s. And so pulled him up, and really I've liked his cards ever since. I did a book report on him in high school, which is weird, being from Oklahoma and do a book report. But there you go. That is my card mail day. Pretty eclectic. A lot of cool stuff. I'm happy again. Obviously, getting the Griffey Topps Chrome Refractor is the big deal. You know, it's hard for me not to gush about that card because it's such a card that you know, honestly, you know, when you're collecting, and I'm sure people do this, they get very down when they don't think they'll ever get a card like that. You know, when they buy cards, you know, and I do this all the time. I sit there and go like, well, I'll never own that card, you know, and I get really down because it sells for a lot of money, and I think like, man, you know, I might as well just, you know, give up my whole Griffey collection set because, you know, I'll never own that one card that I really want. And then you get it, and then you go like, well, now I can get the rest of them because I got this one card, right? So again, this card really is a motivator for me to complete his Refractor run of the 90s, and you know, just love it. And hopefully one of these days you'll see it in a PSA holder, and it'll be in a future video when I send off to get graded, which will probably happen sometime in June. All right, guys, that is my video. Hope you guys like it. Like, subscribe in the comments. Let me know what you like and what you don't like. I love the interaction, and I'll see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.